Other than that, I'll briefly kind of explain some of the trees that we have around here, the three main tree species. So here, when you look out around you, we mainly have coniferous evergreen trees, meaning those trees that, have the green needles year-round. We mainly have western hemlock trees, Douglas fir trees, and western red cedar trees. We do have a few deciduous trees in the area, so we do have like a big leaf maple and a vine leaf maple tree. Deciduous meaning they change colors and they drop their leaves throughout the year. But we only have a few of those. So the main trees would be the cedar, so that's one of the three that I mentioned to you, which is this one. You can tell it's a cedar tree when you look closely because it has on the bark kind of pieces that look like long strips. These trees are actually the most culturally significant trees as well in terms of our indigenous peoples because they consider this tree the tree of life. Because when they cut the tree down, every single piece of the tree can be used and nothing goes to waste. Which in general is an important value in their culture. They only take what they need and they really want to ensure that nothing ever gets wasted. So the inside of the tree is used to construct things like their longhouses, traditionally like many years ago. Their story poles, their canoes, things like that. And then the outside, and just to mention as well, the inside of the tree is what we use to construct the flooring around here and the planks and the suspension bridge as well. Then the outside of the tree is obviously used as well, like I said. What they actually do is the indigenous peoples, they just strip the bark straight down from the tree and then they actually boil it, which just kind of softens it up, and then they use it for weaving. So they section it into strips and they use it to weave things like clothing, baskets, bracelets, even children's diapers, if you can imagine that. So many different uses just from one single tree. The next tree is the western hemlock tree. So I'll just move for a second and I'll come back. I just want to point it out.
I'm trying to get out of your way.
No, you guys are good. This is the example of the hemlock tree. You can tell it looks different from the cedar tree because the cedar has the long strip-like bark pieces, whereas the hemlock, if you look closely, its bark kind of looks like puzzle pieces. And it has tiny little horizontal lines that run around the circumference of the tree when the hemlock is below 100 years of age. After 100 years, those lines disappear and you're just kind of left with the bark, the regular bark. But as well, hemlocks, they make up about 60% of the forests. So they are the most common out of those three tree types. And as well, hemlocks have those kind of long droopy branches that you can see kind of beginning halfway at the trunk of the tree going to the top. You can't really see it, but the hemlock needles on that tree, they are two-toned. I have a specific one. That means they are white on one side and they're green when you flip them over on the other side. And hemlock needles actually act as an appetite suppressant. So that means if you're ever lost in the forest and you didn't have food on you, apparently you can nibble on some of those. I haven't tried it myself, but you can nibble on some of those and they would keep you going for a few hours or so, apparently. I've heard of people sprinkling them on salads as well. They're actually nothing to do with the hemlock plant in Europe because apparently there's an extremely poisonous hemlock plant in Europe, but there's no correlation between either of those two species. And then lastly, the last of those three kind of main trees I mentioned to you is the Douglas fir tree. The closest example is actually just straight through that kind of mini cluster at the very end. It's the one with the really thick fur bark coming out from the tree, kind of coming out from the sides of the tree, I mean. If you guys have done the Treetops Adventure, each of those kind of mini 7 bridges are attached to its own Douglas fir tree. So again, that's what they look like, those huge trees. They are actually the biggest trees in Canada. Second biggest in the world before the redwoods, but biggest that we have here. They can get to about 200 to 300 feet. And actually the biggest tree in the park is a Douglas fir tree. It's 250 feet and 1,200 years old. On average, most of the trees in this park are about, I'd say, anywhere between 150 to 250 years old and about 200 to 300 feet. Again, it kind of varies slightly, those numbers, depending on the species. But with the Douglas fir trees as well, another way that you can tell is that their branches are just concentrated at the very top of the tree. Because the tree is sunlight dependent, meaning the branches lower down, not getting enough sunlight, just drop off, leaving kind of the remaining branches just to kind of keep growing as the tree grows. So that concludes the information about the nature and a little bit of the history of the park. If anyone has any questions, feel free to let me know. But if not, I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here.
And then did this go like they just
just right across?
Just straight across.
And then they put water and giant trees in it, and it held
so
up.
that was to kind of move the trees to cascade the like the logs down it.
So what's the fish names usually?
So there's a few main types of Pacific salmon. So these are Pacific salmon. There's coho, which is what this one is. There's rainbow trout. That one is red, kind of like a silver stripe down the middle of it. Then there's Chinook, then sockeye, chum, and then pink salmon as well, which is another kind of species.
People can do fishing here?
People can do fishing here. You do need a license to do fishing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
هلكي ماسي وشتكاني عندي هاي اشتكى خلق بيبينتنا هلكيكا.
And you can tell because of like the strip like looking bar that it has.
شتێکی کە فێر بووم ئەوە بوو کە جیاوازی ئەو دارانە مزانی لەو کتە کە یەکی لەو دارانە داری هەم نایت بوو هەم شتێک بوو بیرم نەماوە ناوەکەی جان ئێستا بۆتان دەردۆزمەوە ئەوە تالیرە هەمانە دەڵێ ئەو دارە ئەگەر برسیتان بوو لە جەنگەڵا ون بوون ئەوە لە شوێنەکە ون بوون ئەتوانن لەو دارە لە گەڵاکانی لە دارەکە بخۆن چەند سعاتێک پێی زیندوو دەمێنەوە وەستن ڕێت چەندە ئەوەیان هێملاک وەستن هێملاک بەو دارە کە ئەوەیانە چۆن بیناسینەوە دەڵێ داری دۆگلاس کەوەی پێمان نیشاندان ئەڵە زۆر بەناوبانگە لە لای ئۆریجیناڵەکان ئەڵێ هەموو شتێکیان لێ دروست کردووە ینی لق بەلقی ئەو دارە و گەڵا بە گەڵای ئەو دارەیان بەکارهێناوە زۆر دارێکی بەناوبانگە لە لای کەنەدیەکان و حتا ئەو پردەش لە ئەو دروستکراوە لە داری دۆگلاس دروستکراوە دەڵێ دایپێریش لێ دروستکراوە دایپێری مناڵ لەو دارانە دروست دەکرێت سێری ئەو دارەکەن چەند گەورەیە پانە دەڵێ کاپیلانۆیەکێکە لە گەورەترین شوێنی ڤیزیتۆر کە خەڵکێکی زۆر دێ سەردانی دەکات بەناوبانگترینیانە Hello, can I ask them some question of the kids for the YouTube channel? It's fun. Hi, how are you? What did you like the most about this place?
Well, I like the suspension bridge a lot. It was like fun when it was rocking back and forth.
Okay. Which one was your favorite?
What do you mean by that?
What did you learn today?
Well, I learned a lot. So
which one was very interesting for you and you never heard about it?
Oh, yeah, so this it takes the Douglas for 9 years to grow the same height as me.
Okay.
And I'm 9 years old. So.
Okay. It's you measured yourself with the tree. Yeah. They're over there, right? Yeah. Oh, nice. Did you see the birds?
Yeah.
Yeah? Which one will you like it most?
I like the hawk.
Okay.
Because, well, it's cool.
Okay. Are you gonna come back here again?
I hope so.
Yeah? Okay. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you. You can see us on Van TV YouTube, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have a good day. زۆر جوان بوو. ئەڵێ ئەوەی کە زۆرم پێخۆش بووە ئەوە بوو کە یەک دانە داری دەگڵێت دە چەند ساڵات بە قەدەمنی لێدە دەڵێ 9 ساڵدا بە قەدامنی لێدە پێی خۆش بووە.